Hey everybody, J-Man here. Let's talk about Doctor Who. Okay, Doctor Who. This is the 60th anniversary special, the first of three. We have Russell T Davies back as the showrunner and writer for this one. I brought my sonic screwdriver out. This is John Pertwee sonic screwdriver. We have every sonic screwdriver collectively. My wife and I together have every sonic screwdriver that there ever was, including Jodie's sonic screwdriver, which I know might be something that people don't care about, but what can you do? Before I get to my review, I do want to say this very quickly, and I apologize if this is not going to be a positive review, just so you know right off the bat. It's not going to be a positive review, and I'm actually sad that it's not a positive review. But my history with Doctor Who, and you haven't seen a lot on my channel, Doctor Who is my favorite television show of all time, easy. I do have some Doctor Who stuff on a shelf here, but I have way more. Like you see these shelves that I have here. At one point, they were all just Doctor Who. I've got photographs on my Facebook and stuff like that of some of my collection. I have met and have a photo with or an autograph of every Doctor from 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I actually have Jodie's autograph signed to me. I've met Paul McGann. I've met Peter Davison. I have met Colin Baker. I have met Jack Harkness. I've met John Barrowman. I have met Matt Smith. And I have autographs of anyone who I haven't met. I don't have anything from the first 3 Doctors. My favorite Doctor is John Pertwee. That's my favorite Doctor. To differentiate that from the best Doctor is Tom Baker. That's very clear. If someone is saying that Tom Baker is not the best Doctor, you do have to question them and their fandom of Doctor Who. I'm sorry to say that you have to question it. In terms of New Who, I pretty much liked a lot of them. I thought Matt Smith was fantastic. David Tennant is one of the best actors that we have around right now, and I think he is absolutely amazing as the 10th Doctor. I definitely rank him for top 5 easy, maybe third. Tom Baker and Pertwee can swap out. Tom Baker's the best. I kind of like John Pertwee just a little bit. I don't know, there's something about John Pertwee, he just seemed very cool. I've got the Tom Baker scarf, the full long one. I have figures of all of the Doctors, including Jodie. I have all of the toys, music. I've got some of the Big Finish stuff as well. I do have Tom Baker's autograph personalized to me. I got it from his website maybe 10 years ago. Anyway, I own, and I also own every single piece of DVD and Blu-ray for everything Doctor Who, including everything that Chris Chibnall has done. That is not an endorsement of Chris Chibnall. I think he's awful. I think his run was garbage. But I own it because I'm a completionist. I want to have all the Doctor Who stuff. Okay. That said, The Timeless Child is the absolute worst thing that Doctor Who has ever produced, and it's a disgrace. The first red flag coming into this 60th anniversary special and moving into Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th Doctor, the biggest red flags was when RTD, Russell T Davies, said to, I think, the Radio Times, that he is not going to unwrite the Timeless Child, which is very easy. All you have to do is you say Ruth is the Ronnie, and you can say the Master and the Ronnie teamed up to F with the Doctor's mind and screw with the Doctor and make it seem as though William Hartnell wasn't the first Doctor. Going back in time and destroying classic Doctor Who established like history is a fail. Anytime you do, and then this is not a Doctor Who lesson. This is a lesson for anything. If you make something brand new and then you say the first thing was trash or there's something before that, that's a fail in all genres, any franchise. You go back and say, oh, this wasn't the first thing or whatever. That nobody likes that. Okay, anything can happen in Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a very open concept. It's always been that. Doctor Who is about change, but it's about progression and moving forward. Going back and saying, oh, William Hartnell's not the first Doctor, that is highly disrespectful. Is it beyond the realm of reason? Well, I guess not, but it is disrespectful to the legacy of Doctor Who, of William Hartnell, and everybody involved in those first early Doctor Who's. It's an absolute disgrace, and I will not stand for it. It is garbage. If you out there are saying that The Timeless Child is okay, or I thought it was okay, you are not a Doctor Who fan. That has nothing to do with my opinion. That is a friggin' fact, okay? You do not get to say that you like that. You can like it as a personal thing, say, I thought that was okay, but it is not Doctor Who content. It's awful. It's terrible. All right. That was about 5 minutes. If you're still with me, thank you so much for sticking with me. Let's talk about this particular one. So I'm going to use my space system. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get in any category. Let's start off. Story. I'm going to give the storyline of this episode a 0.5. 0.5 out of 2. I was going to give it 0, but I do like a couple of little aspects. So my main issue is that this has nothing to do with celebrating Doctor Who as a 60th anniversary special. The Day of the Doctor, which was the 50th anniversary special, was, in my opinion, awesome. Like, I absolutely loved it. I definitely got emotional during it. TV shows really don't get me emotional. Movies don't either. If I get emotional, it has to be something epic that really touches me, and I do feel that the 50th anniversary Day of the Doctor definitely did, obviously with Tom Baker appearing at the end, but even before that, with how they did everything, I, of course, wish that Paul McGann played as the 8th Doctor, and it was the 8th Doctor's journey that we went through, instead of introducing the War Doctor, which, again, it's a bit problematic, but however, Doctor Who is about change and bringing in new concepts. So definitely, and John Hurt was just so great in that role. Personally, I wish it was Paul McGann, because I actually think he's really great. His movie was not too good. I like the Night of the Doctor thing, which was like 10 minutes or 15. They should have put that in the beginning. Instead of making that a separate piece, they should have put that together. So for this, I'm giving it a 0.5. So the Meep show up. Now, that is a comic book character. And there's a little bit of a twist, so I won't give it away. It's still pretty new. There's a little bit of a twist with the story where the creatures who are hunting it. So I don't want to spoil it, but there was a little bit of a twist, which I actually called and knew that was going to happen, but it was done pretty neat. They brought back Donna, so Donna has all this Time Lord knowledge, and she was made to forget the Doctor and all of her adventures, which actually made Donna a very sad companion. She didn't die like Adric, but she kind of, like, her personality died because she lost who she was, and she lost all those great things that she did. She had no memory of it. So it made it very sad. It made Donna stand out a little bit more because it was just a little extra sad than some of the other sad companion departures. But I also personally love Donna. I did meet Catherine Tate. She's freaking awesome. she's totally cool. Got a great picture with her, so she's awesome. Anyway, so I like that kind of aspect. Obviously, David Tennant, as now the 14th Doctor, comes back, and, stuff happens. Now, it could have been better if they would have made it more of an anniversary special, like where some of the other Doctors. Instead of doing that, they've decided that they're going to go the full-on, let's do it, let's do the W word, woke, let's do the woke word, let's do it, and let's not just introduce it, let's just bang it in. So I'll get to the characters momentarily, but the storyline, because it is so focused on promoting their ideas or whatever, it loses focus of the sci-fi elements and the fantasy elements of what we're supposed to be watching here. So 0.5 for the story, which means it's way below average. This is RTD's worst story, easy. So 0.5. Pacing, I will give it a 1 out of 2. So I actually wasn't bored. However, I wasn't that energetic about it. I felt that it kind of was a little slow in the beginning, but then the middle part, there was a lot of running around the streets and shooting and pew pew and all that. And I thought, this ain't Star Wars. Like, what are you doing? It felt very generic, like they're just running around. So I'm going to give it a 1 point. I won't give it more than 1. I won't give it less, because if I'm absolutely bored and don't care about what's going on, I would give it less than a 1. But a 1 is like, I wasn't bored, but really you needed to add some more excitement to this. So the pacing was definitely off. For the artistry factor, I'm actually going to give it a 1.5. I have to say that the interior of this TARDIS, to me, I've only just watched it, so this is my first impression of it. I'm definitely going to have to think about this some more, but the interior of the TARDIS might be my favorite interior of any TARDIS, which seems kind of outrageous, and I despise when people always say the new thing is the best thing, and I hate that. But I don't know, it looked very clean. It had the console kind of the classic Who, and it just looked very clean and pristine. I do feel that some of the new Who, not Peter Capaldi's, but some of the other ones felt kind of junky, and I kind of understood where they're going with that, but it always felt a bit junky, which was kind of neat. But I do like that classic Who clean look. Unfortunately, classic Who, for the budget and time period, the interior kind of didn't, really do anything special, right? This was a great kind of homage to that, so I'm giving it points for that. You had your classic themes for the Doctor and Donna and all that, so I do like the music there. I actually liked the intro. It's not one of my favorite intros or anything like that, but I did like the intro, so that's good. I thought David Tennant looked good. He did have his 10th Doctor kind of style, but it was definitely different enough that I could be like, oh yeah, that's the 14th. Like if you stood him, if you lined up all their costumes, I could say that's the 14th, that's the 10th, and I would be able to tell them apart. I thought that those green creatures, I can't remember their names, and I don't know them. I've read zero Doctor Who comics, so that's one thing I've never gotten into. I can't remember the creatures' names. They looked okay. Everything looked okay. So giving it 1.5. So can't give it a 2. There's still, it's a bit dark at times. So I'm giving it 1.5. The characters, I'm going to give the characters a 1 out of 2. Really, it should be less than that. I'll tell you, David Tennant to me is an amazing actor. I think he's great. He falls right back into being the Doctor. Pretty good. Look, I'm a Donna Noble fan. I know some people find her very annoying, which I can definitely see, but I don't particularly see that. I actually really enjoyed her. I thought she was pretty funny, especially when she was like the Dr. Donna thing. That was kind of cute. The Meep was kind of a fun villain, this cutesy, sorry guys, I just spoiled it, it's the villain, sorry. Anyway, who cares? So the Meep was kind of a fun bad guy. He was, sorry, they were okay, or it was okay, I don't know. We're gonna get to that momentarily. We're introduced to Rose Noble, and then the husband, and of course the husband, or Donna didn't take the husband's name, which is just like another dumbass thing. Of course, he's weak and stupid and silly. All fathers now, even if they're played by black actors, apparently, all fathers are now just trash characters and idiots. That is just the way things are portrayed nowadays. I don't know why. I don't know who my father is. He was never there. He doesn't know I exist. I'm not mad at fathers. If I was going to write a story, I wouldn't make the father bad. My grandfather became sort of like my surrogate dad, and he was awesome. So I don't know where this came from. Rose Noble is absolutely terrible, and they're terrible because their only character was that they were trans. And this is this whole thing now where you use the term woke and people get upset and, oh, no. Listen, there's a character, a scientist in a wheelchair in this as well. We're gonna get to her in momentarily. But when you focus all your attention on a character's binary, non-binary pronouns, they literally say pronouns in this. It's like, what is your pronouns? And like they constantly, in the first 10 minutes, they like, oh, it's a beautiful daughter. They keep saying, oh, she's beautiful. Well, if she's a she, then let her be a she. I don't understand why this needs to be constantly reinforced. To me, that shows that they're not confident in their character. Because if you're confident in the character, let's take Jack Harkness, who I suppose would be considered the first ever of Doctor Who that was I know John Barrowman's gay in real life, but I think Captain Jack was bisexual, I think, or I don't know what the term is, omni something, where he's attracted to different types of species too. It's not just men and women, it's anything that he finds beautiful. I suppose that's what Jack Harkness was. But you see, nobody really knew, because this kind of thing doesn't matter in Doctor Who. We always judge the character. John Barrowman, I absolutely love John Barrowman. Top 5 fan experiences ever meeting John Barrowman. Got pictures, autographs, one of the nicest and kindest people that, well, in terms of kindest person I've met as a celebrity, easy top 5 fan experiences. Probably top 1, maybe the best fan experience. Great character. Absolutely love Torchwood. Okay. I love the relationship with him and Yanto in Torchwood. Captain Jack, one of the best characters of New Who for sure, easy for me. He looks cool. I contemplated cosplaying as Captain Jack. I even got the time vortex manipulator, all that stuff. John Barrowman is amazing. Follow him on all of his socials. He's an absolute ambassador for Doctor Who. Great character. Everybody likes Captain Jack. If you don't like Captain Jack, I don't know why. Like, like, what did he do? Because the guy's awesome. But they wrote a character. They didn't have to talk about, they didn't reinforce things. They weren't walking around Torchwood saying, I'm bisexual. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? Like, nobody said that. They just told a story about a character who happens to be bisexual. In this particular episode, that's all they refer to. And literally at the end, somehow Donna is saved because her daughter's non-binary. But I thought the daughter's a she, I think. See, this is where the problems arise in this kind of a thing. Nobody knows what's going on. You're just sitting there saying, but if you had all of the Time Lord energy in you, then you had a baby. Oh, so that splits the energy. Makes sense, right? Some of the Time Lord energy or memories went into her daughter. So that makes complete sense. Then they go on to say, well, we can survive this process because we're not, or she's non-binary. But I thought she's supposed to be a girl. They kept saying she's a beautiful daughter. They said daughter 4,000 times, so that is binary, right? So, or are they saying anything is non-binary, but she's a she? See, you can't bring science into this and say, well, this scientifically saves you from being killed from the Time Lord energy because you're attracted to other things. Like, it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. I'm sorry, it is nonsense in this story. It makes zero sense. That's why it's nonsense. So characters, I'm giving it a 1 because I do like David Tennant. I do like Donna. Now, there was another diversity hire. They got Sonic Screwdriver, check off those boxes. They checked off another box by having an actress in a wheelchair. Now, she did sit there once and cross her legs while she was talking to David Tennant. So I thought, well, her legs work. They didn't really get into the details of why she's in a wheelchair, which actually makes it a bit better because you're never asked to feel sorry for this character. You're never asked to see that, or you're never made to feel that this character is inferior. There's a great part where there's a ship that's landed and she wheels her chair in and there's a bunch of unit soldiers and they have to go up and investigate. And the guy looks up and there's stairs. He's like, oh crap, there's stairs. And she's like, look, don't turn me into some kind of liability or problem. Just go up there and take care of business. And you see, that was a real character. She's a scientist. She has a reason to be there. And she's like, I'm the 56th, I'm the 56th scientist or something, or advisor, science advisor. And then the doctor's like, I'm the first, which is great. That's a great part. You're never made to look down on her. You're never made to feel bad about her. She's a scientist. She has a purpose in unit. And her wheelchair has weapons. There's a great line where they're like, hey, he's like, you've got weapons in your wheelchair. She's like, we all do, which is hilarious. See, that's cool because you're thinking, oh yeah, that's badass. If there is an action figure of this character, you could have like all these projectiles coming out of her wheelchair to make it really cool. That opens up your imagination to be like, oh, what else could she do with this wheel? Oh, maybe they could float or something. Like she could have like Dalek technology in the wheelchair, right? Like, you know. So the character is not just defined by being in a wheelchair. That makes it a character. Unfortunately, Rose Noble is defined only by the fact that she's trans. There's absolutely nothing else to that character. They did have a very small glimpse of a character for her. Very small. And I started to think, oh, this might be good. One thing that she did that was really cool was that she had some of the memories of Donna, but they're all sort of like in the subconscious, right? So she makes these little stuffed toys, and she makes stuffed toys based on other monsters. So there's like a little Ood stuffed toy. There's like a little, what were the other ones? I can't remember. The Adipose, there's a little Adipose toy. That was cool. So I thought, oh, this character is going to be someone who, you know, she replicated sort of the TARDIS with her little shack that she has, and she goes in and makes all this cool stuff. So I thought, this is a character, but they didn't lean into that. That is one quick scene, and then that is it for that character. Why didn't they say that she had created something from some sort of distant memory in the back of her mind? She created some kind of thing that can help the situation. And then David Tennant could be like, what? You created this? Like, how did you know? How did you know this would help? And it's like, oh my gosh, she's got some memory. Like, and I'm just making this up right now. I didn't have 1 year to think about this where I could have really developed this character. I don't think that doing something woke or diverse is automatically bad. I think what happens is that when you introduce something like that, that's all you can think about. And then it doesn't make any sense. And before anyone even attempts to go into something like that, I'm some sort of hater of something, no, not at all. I accept anything, okay? If it makes sense in the story, then it makes sense in the story. If it doesn't make sense in the story, then it doesn't make sense. This did not make any sense, or they didn't explain it properly. If you have time energy, and it's like, I'm non-binary, so now I'm not going to die. I don't understand. Why not? Like, you're a human being. You have one brain, one heart. Like, the Time Lords have two hearts. You have one heart. Like, it doesn't change. It doesn't change your like literal chemical makeup. Like, I don't understand. It didn't make any sense. And if someone wants to explain it to me, go for it. Explain it to me. So enjoyment factor, 0. Sorry, I didn't enjoy this at all. I thought it was a real letdown. RTD, for better or worse, has created some great storylines for me personally. I think he's done a great job. When he revived Doctor Who, I thought it was amazing. I loved probably like 90% of his stories. Listen, I know a few people that aren't RTD fans, like even from the beginning. They thought that some of his stuff wasn't that great, or he did have some weird things with like Rose falling in love and all this stuff. But for the most part, I think a lot of his stuff was awesome. And I think he had an amazing run with Doctor Who, absolutely amazing. I'm going to finish it. Of course, I am a completist, so I'm going to purchase this anniversary special, which had nothing to do with celebrating Doctor Who. Like, you know, where's Colin Baker or Peter Davison or, you know, Captain Jack? Bring they're literally doing this diversity episode, and they don't bring Captain Jack in, who is like an amazing character, fan favorite, and loved by all. Even Chris Chibnall brought in Captain Jack in order to try to get some fans to come back, right? I don't get it. Maybe the next two specials will have more and be more actual celebrations of the 60th anniversary. I really don't know what this was celebrating. So yeah, 4 out of 10. Very disappointed with this one. I'm not angry. Last time I did a video where I didn't like something, I got a lot of feedback. People saying, oh, I'm so negative and I'm a hater and all this other crap. I'm not a hater. I own, just to remind you, I own every DVD and Blu-ray that's ever come out that has anything to do with Doctor Who. Torchwood, Sarah Jane, all of it. K9. Class. I even have Class. Remember that show Class? Yeah. I own every DVD and Blu-ray that's ever come out. If you're about to comment on me and saying I'm not a fan, or I don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm a something or whatever, I want you to really think this through for a second. I own every DVD and Blu-ray that has ever come out that has anything to do with Doctor Who. Do you own it all? I want you to think about that before you comment negatively on me and say, oh, I did it. I want you to think about that. Have you spent actual money that you've earned at a job and given it to BBC to buy stuff? I have autographs and photos with these celebrities from Doctor Who. I have all the toys. I have not all toys. I have a lot of toys, enough to fill 2 full shelves. Okay. they were completely full, like to the top, like on top even. Before you say anything negative, I want you to really think about that, because if you say I'm an idiot or I don't know what I'm talking about, my response to you is going to be like, take a picture of your Doctor Who collection and show me. If you own everything and you're the same as me and you own it all, then let's talk it out like civilized people, like the Doctor would. But if you watch Doctor Who for one season and now you think you know something, nah, no way. You don't get a right to say anything to judge me in a negative way. I know this is an aggressive video, I know, but I feel very strongly about Doctor Who. It is my favorite TV show of all time, of all space and time. So that is it. Let me know what you thought of this one. It's going to be controversial. The shills are out there. The shills are real. They are out there. There's a lot of haters out there as well. They're both out there. And the shills sometimes make good positive points. But the haters also make good positive points that I agree with, okay? Again, 4 out of 10. That is my rating for this episode. Very disappointing. Let's see where it goes. I'm still going to buy this on Blu-ray. I'm going to buy the next one on Blu-ray. I'm going to buy the 15th Doctor on Blu-ray. And when the 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver comes out, I'm going to buy that too. So there you go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.